Looking at the whole setup here. All right, guys. I'm going to turn off my camera soon, but I'll just let me give the quick introduction, then I'll go ahead and turn off my camera. Thank you for joining us today. We're just going over some billing basics, or in reality, it's what you want to go over too. So please bring your questions and let's talk about that. If you have any questions, well, everybody starts off muted, right? Just so we don't hear all this noise in the background. Please feel free to unmute yourself if you have any questions, or you can type questions in the little question area on your screen. You should see a little red arrow, and if you expand that arrow, you have questions, chat, handouts, etc. I don't have any handouts today, but feel free to ask questions in that area, or unmute yourself and ask a question, and or feel free to raise your hand. You should see a little hand icon. That means raise, and ask your question that way. Mike, can you make Kim a presenter? And not a presenter, I'm sorry, organizer. And so we're going to go ahead and begin into some billing basics. I'm going to go ahead and turn my camera off really quick. Focus on the agenda here. I think I'm sharing it. Yep, everything looks clear. So we're just going to go over our agenda here real quick and our couple objectives. We the billing screen. We've learned that not everybody has the same features available on their billing screen to help their day-to-day operations. And not to say they are even helpful. Something might help Agent A, but not as much as Agent B. But we still like to discuss those type of features and bring them up and find the value that some agents have these features on their billing screen. So we're going to go ahead and bring that up. I'm going to bring up the billing screen. We're just going to go over it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about features and what you can do to help your day-to-day operations, or, just know it's there, know what it's about. And we encourage questions and or scenarios. Gabe, what if I have a drop and hook, or what if I have more than one driver on a load? How do I pay one driver and not the other driver? Now, that's just one scenario I'm going to cover, but by all means, please bring in your own scenarios. That way we can address them. And it's good for the group because everybody else can find out too. And that kind of rolls into objective number 2, talking about the features available. Then I like to just discuss that paperwork, getting that paperwork in here in regards to a live demo. I'm going to do an upload. I don't have a scanner here with me at home. Shucks. But I'm just going to do an upload demonstration. I can't do an e-rig demonstration at the moment. That's just me. But we're still going to talk about it, and I'm going to show you how it's done. Basically, I'm just going to demonstrate it without actually demonstrating it. There's ways to do that. And then objective 4, we're going to talk about billing with other agents, okay? I'm not sure that you are on here today for that, but basically, all right. Guys, I don't know when I cut off, but I was talking a little bit about the videos available out there for us. Let me zoom in. I'm not going to go hardcore in here, but there's ones on billing a customer and paying a driver, or creating and editing and using a template. If I go ahead, click on that, and you can watch this at your own time, but I can come over here. I can click on how to create a template. And there's literally a user big word friendly video on how to create a template, right? And it's literally going to walk me through the process. This is where you create a template. This is where you enter it in. Now, I'm actually going to do this with you guys today. I just wanted to point out the training material and resources available to you. Thank you, guys. I'm sure you can hear me now. Fantastic. Yeah. Sorry about that. Okay, so I'm going to go back out of the training area. We're going to go back to the main menu, and billing screen is under operations. So I go ahead, click on operations. I'm going to bring up the billing screen. Let's talk about it, people. Bear with me here. I'm just going to zoom out a little bit. There we go. Let me catch up with this. I know Kim's in the chat area. Fantastic. We're all good. And And let me just move these little things out of here. All right, fantastic. All right, I'm back at you. All right, so this is our billing screen. You can see the same buttons on the top also exist on the bottom. But we'll talk about these buttons up here. Once we create an order, right? We're not paying a driver right now. But there are other buttons available. You have the ability to print a POD. You have the ability to print a POD. I can't do it right now. I don't have an order up. You also have a driver POD. People ask me, Gabe, what's the difference? Well, driver POD displays a driver's pay, and that's it. It's only for the driver. Give me a second. I'm going to bring up a pro number, everyone. Just bear with me here. I'm just going to bring up a random order, just so we can talk about what we see here. I used to have a pro number written down for one I use. Might just use this one. This looks good. It's a little easier when I bring up an actual pro number to talk about it, right? Book load means save. Now, if you have a template, or if you do a move 50 times a week, 20 times a month, 20 times a week, 50 times a month, why not create a template to have 90% of the information already entered? As an example, I can come over here, I can click on Create Template, and look, it's automatically going to take the billing screen into a template. It doesn't have to. I can say no, but what if I do want this exact order to be a template? I can literally say, oh yeah, bring over everything except the references, because I know they're going to be different. And I click on Continue, and I literally am creating a template from that billing screen. I'm not doing anything different. This is the Create Template screen. I'm coming over here. I'm going to say, hey, we're always picking it up from Evan's delivery, but we don't know where it's delivering to. So I can leave this empty. This is just an example. I scroll down a little bit here. There's other load details. I'm going to say, oh, okay, in here, I'd like you to put in the load number, right? And I'm going to go in all caps. Entered load number. So what I'm doing here is already getting it ready to be right. All right. This is where I want to make sure my team or anybody on billing on my team enters the load information here, etc. You can put more. Okay. I already have notes saved in this template and more. I scroll down a little bit. I can even save financial information, whatever that may be. Let's say the freight is $900. The fuel is 14% of that. And I might be paying my driver, let's say $680, which is 75%. But I don't know which driver. I'm just showing you an example how I can come in here, enter information, click on Continue, and literally save it. Webinar demo, right? Whatever it may be. Naturally, you would save it. You would probably put like a Pepsi pickup, right? Whatever kind of message that you would, whatever kind of name that you would know what this template is for. Some people put shipper and constant needs as well. And I go ahead, click yes, because I want to use it right now, and here it goes. And I can simply create this order. Let's say I'm picking it up from Gabe's, I'm delivering it to Gabe's Funhouse. Aha. And just like that, I booked the load, and I instantly created an order from, oh, it doesn't like that. I'm going to instantly create an order. Give me a second here. Just going to create a new address. All right, fantastic. There you go. That was simple. Now I want to save this order. I'm going to say the pickup is for tomorrow. And we're going to come back into this. Sorry, I'm just creating this right now in front of everyone. But it gives you an opportunity to say, okay, this is how you create an order. And we're going to say it's for 0800 hours. And then right now, I'm going to click on Book Load and save that bad boy. All right, fantastic. Let me go ahead and return to load. Sweet, I created the order. It's simply out of a template and use the template. We're going to use this order for today's example. I wish I had my pen that my son asked for. I never got it back. But I'll try to remember it. 28, 113328. All right, so I also wanted to just represent a couple other buttons that we see here. Delete load, you have the ability to delete a load, people. Some people don't have the ability to delete a load. If you need it, please contact the IT department at techdeck@evansdelivery.com. Also, some people don't want other people to have the ability to delete a load, so we could turn off someone's ability to delete a load if interested. It is a thing. It is possible. Moving forward, there's other page features such as manage page layout. If you're wondering what that is maybe you want to see the notes at the top and the financial information at the top and the notes at the bottom. I don't know. You could change it around. Let's say I want to see the financial information first. So just like that, I moved it up and I want to see it above the references. I go ahead, click on save. And what you've noticed is now the financial information is here and the references are here. See what I did there? Not to make it confusing in any way, but I just wanted to show you that that's what manage page layout is. I'm actually going to kind of move it back just so we're all on the same page, right? What we're used to seeing. Next thing is load type. Not everybody knows what this is, but basically you can identify your particular move. Is it an import? Is it an export? Your truckload agent, is it a delivery or is it a pickup? Whatever it may be. This helps me identify my move. For today's example, let's say this is the delivery. We're delivering wine to Gabe's Funhouse, right? And then, so I like to identify this as a delivery on my dispatch grid. I can go to my dispatch grid and I can say, show me all my deliveries by simply selecting the delivery load type. Pretty straightforward. It helps keep helps keep visibility across the board. Next thing we wanted to talk about is office location. This was originally made for one agency that had more than one office, but you can also use it for your own advantage. Here's an example. Gabe, is there somewhere on the billing screen I can mark this load? That way on the dispatch grid, I can see it. We like to recommend office location. And here's an example I'm going to get to. I can come over here and I can have whatever I want. In this case, some agents actually use it as pending approval. They come in here, they say, oh, pending approval. That's the current status of this load. That way they can go to the dispatch grid and say, why isn't this loaded closed out? Oh, it's pending approval. Maybe a detention charge, maybe storage, lumper fee, whatever it may be. It's not billed yet because it's pending approval. All right, I got my 2 o'clock coffee going. Some other agents also do multiple types of moves, so they were identifying their truckload moves aside from their intermodal. Also, some agents identify the steamship line. They might say, show me all my CMAs. That way they can go to their dispatch grid and only notice their CMA loads. So that's the advantage there. Also, a dispatcher. I know a location that has more than one dispatcher, crosstown dispatcher, over-the-road dispatcher, a local, etc. What they did was assign the load to the dispatcher. That way, when, let's say, Mike Rodnick, the dispatcher, goes onto the grid, he can see all his loads. Now, I'm going to demonstrate that right now. As a matter of fact, let me just go to the dispatch grid and show you what I'm talking about. So I'm going to add that column. I don't know if it's there right now. I don't type, but I don't see the other column. So I'm going to go to the dispatch grid and I'm going to customize the grid and add that column. Bear with me here. That I'm looking for, what's it called on the billing screen? I can't see my mouse. Hold on. Oh, office location. That's what I'm looking for. So it's going to be somewhere down here, somewhere near the bottom. There we go. Office location description. I like to use, and it's right here. And I'm actually just going to put this up in, so it helps you guys know a little bit about how the dispatch grid works. I know, right? Actually, I'm just going to put this up to the top. There we go. Right before the bill to, after the equipment. I go ahead, hit save, and now it's right here, office description. And just like that, that'll help me. Did I put in today's load? Oh, I didn't save it. I didn't save it. Give me a second. Let me save that billing screen that I marked it as Michael. And I come over here, I hit book load. And you could have used anything else that you wanted to do there. You could have done that. You can clearly see on the dispatch grid now office locations there, and it's telling me, oh, these are Michael's loads. And I could more, but I don't know if I have more examples. Or just like that, I can say, only show me this dispatcher. Only show me this steamship line or this status of that particular load. Definitely an advantage there. Going to move forward a little bit. Next, we have other buttons such as scan documents and book and duplicate load. Scan documents, you can simply come in here and scan your documents in. Some agents weren't aware that they had the ability to upload documents. Why would you upload documents? Save the trees. Maybe you already have an accessorial approval in an email. Maybe you already have a rate confirmation from the customer in an email, so you can save it and upload it. An agent asked me, Gabe, how do I save an email? I'm going to bring over a random email for you. This isn't going to be an accessorial approval, but hey, it's a random email. So check this out. This is a random email, right? And how can I save this? Well, you actually have the ability to come over here and click on print. And when you click on print, you actually have the ability to save it as a PDF file. And unless you had a computer that's older than 4 years, you should likely be able to do this. So I can say Microsoft print to PDF, and I actually click on print. And my computer's a little delayed, but it's actually going to bring up the save as PDF window, just like that. Look at that, right? I'm going to save it in my downloads because that's an easy place. Demo, demo upload. Right, there we go. We're going to go ahead and hit save. And just like that, I was able to save that. I hope it's not a big email. But then I come over here, I click on browse, I go ahead and search for it wherever I had it saved. In this case, I have it saved on my downloads. Here goes my demo upload. I go ahead and hit open and upload the file, just like that. It must be a PDF or TIFF format. When you save it as a PDF, that's simple, easy, and clear. Look at that. Very easy to do. I go ahead, upload it, just like that, the file was uploaded successful. I'm glad I could show you that example, and I hope we learned a little bit. Also, book and duplicate load allows to make multiple copies of a single load. By the click of a button, I can go ahead and say, hey, I need 3 more of these. So I go ahead, I select 3, and I say, bring over everything except for the references because they're going to be different container numbers. That's just an example. I go ahead, hit continue, and guess what's going to happen? It's literally going to create 3 more orders, plus my original is a total of 4. Say what? You kidding me? With the click of a button and my finger moving a little bit, I already made multiple copies of a single load? Yes, you did. Here's the original right here, and here are the 3 copies. Get out of town. I love that. I'm going to go ahead, click on close window. Look, here's the copies in the background. 1, 2, and 3. Oh my goodness. Look at that. That's fantastic. Now I got 3 billing screens I can do all kinds of funky stuff with. Now, obviously, I'm not going to do anything here. I'm actually just going to close out of there and close out of here. I want to mention something. If you ever seen the alerts where somebody else is in that order, the best way to get out of the order are 2 ways. 1, book load. That's the number 1 way. Whenever exiting an order, make sure you click on book load to get out of there. Unless you're billing the customer, unless you're paying the driver, then obviously do that. But other than that, click on book load to get out of there. Another recommendation is to click on clear screen. And clear screen just like, clears the screen. It doesn't save anything. So we always recommend to click on book load to ever exit the billing screen. Clear screen does not save anything. All right. Any questions so far? I just wanted to make sure we had an opportunity to ask questions before we jump into references and scenarios. I don't see my question area, so just bear with me here. I'll bring it up. All right, I don't see any questions. That's fantastic. I hope we helped. Guys, the next thing, and if you're typing questions, by all means, please let us know. But the last thing we're going to cover is references, manage references. You see how here there's reference 1 and reference 2? Well, guess what? In reference 3, you actually have the ability to rename it. For today's training example, we said it's pickup. Also, in reference 4, reference 5, and reference 6, you actually have the ability to rename it. And this information displays in the eRigs app. Where do I find this pickup or early return date or cutoff date? Well, you find it under Manage References under the Operations tab. You see Operations? And if I scroll down a little bit, yes, you have the ability to scroll down. There's something that says Manage References. I go ahead, click on Manage References, and take a look at that. Here's reference 3, and it says pickup number. It says pickup. Reference 4 says the word test here. I'm just going to type in custom name. Here you go. I'll use that. It does not like spaces or special characters such as number signs, okay? But as long as there's no spaces, it's only alphanumeric. So just like that, you got to work with that. I go ahead, hit save. You see that it saved successfully. I go ahead, hit OK. And just like that on my billing screen, hold on a second. I got to save this. And just like that, when I return back to my billing screen, it will actually change to what I changed it to. Scrolling down. Here we go. Custom name 4. I left everything else the same, but look at that. I changed it to custom name 4, just like that. This to show you that that ability exists. That's beneficial for you and your drivers if you're using eRigs. Other than that, you got to tell them, oh, the pickup number is in reference 3. Oh, the early return date is in reference 5, whatever it may be. Scrolling, let me maximize this. And that's the manage references. Scrolling down, we have notes, and then we have the meat and potatoes here, the financial information. Some agents, basically what I like to demonstrate is how do we pay one driver and not the other driver, and how does commission calculate, okay? So let's say for today's training purposes, and this is just a scenario I'm trying to pick up here, but let's say we're paying driver 1 $45 for pulling the box, and driver 2 the total amount. Instead of $680, I think I'm going to pay him $650, 72%. All right. So how do we pay this local guy and not this road driver the total amount yet? Well, in this case, you would pay the local guy by selecting who did it. In this case, it was Brent Smith. And then you would come over here and enter in the word hold. Now, you don't even have to do that, but this just gives me the ability to show you something. You enter the word hold in here, it allows you to pay one driver and not the other if you already have the money in there. Okay, some people already do. There's multiple scenarios we can cover. But just like that, watch this. I go ahead, scroll down. I click on pay driver only. And, oh, it's going to need a container. I ain't paying the driver for no container. I should have known better. Let's get this corrected here. And then we're going to say a pickup number. Right? Scrolling down here, I click on pay driver only. Fantastic. It went through. We got our successful screen. Let me go ahead and return to the load. Well, guess what? I go ahead and scroll down, and this guy's paid. You see, it's grayed out, and this one is not. Please ignore the word paid here. You got to tell IT. This one is not grayed out. I can make any changes. I can do anything I need to do, and I can pay that driver For an example, all I got to do, let's say it's a week later, I go in there and pay the driver who hauled the freight, Gabe. I go down and I click on bill customer and pay driver. And of course, I need my actual date. So that's a good example. Some people ask me, Gabe, what is the actual date? Well, it's the actual time they arrived for their pickup or the delivery. In this case, let's say it was the pickup and it was 8 a.m. and my driver got there at 8:15, so 08:15, right? Pretty straightforward. Now bill customer and pay driver. By simply clicking on a button, there we go. We got our successful screen. Let me go ahead and return to the load. Just like that, we billed the customer and now paid all our drivers. I know I went streamlining right into that, but I just wanted to show you how that works. Now let's go ahead and demonstrate a commission calculation with this order on our screen. So I'll go ahead and bring up my handy dandy calculator. Give me a second. There we go. Now commission is calculated different, people. Look, I'm going to turn on my camera real quick. Commission is calculated different depending on your commission schedule. I know my mouth is all off. So make sure you know your commission, all right? For today's training example, I'm only going to use a simple example, and I'm going to say the freight is 85% commission. I'm only using that as an example. Yours can be entirely different. Please note that, okay? But whether yours is different, the same method and the same calculation pretty much apply. So for today's training example, I'm going to say there's a 85% net. I'm not even going to say there's a 1.5% deduction in any other scenario. I'm just going to say 85% net. Let me turn my camera off, make sure we got that. So how does that work? Well, out of the $900 that I'm billing the customer, I get 85% of that. Evans takes 15% off the top. So at that $900 times 0.85, right? I get $765. Minus the $45 I paid to Tractor One, that equals $720. Now minus the $650 I paid to Tractor Two, my total commission is $70 just for that freight. I shouldn't say total. It's just that one line item. And that's how commission is calculated and can be used to and can be represented in your commission report. All right. If we have time, I will go over a commission report. I'll be more than happy to go over a commission report. And by all means, anytime contact the training department. We're always down to talk about it. But I hope that helped clarify a little bit on the commission side of those things. Next thing I wanted to discuss was, what if you need to make a correction? What if I'm paying the wrong amount or I'm paying the wrong driver? Let's just say I'm paying the wrong amount. Driver two actually gets 68%, not 72%. Let's say that. Well, guess what, people? If you bill a loadout, you actually have the ability to go in there and make your corrections. Instead of going to the settlement department, you can go in there yourself and do it. But here's the thing. You only have a short period of time to make a correction. As the camera back on. You only have a short period of time to make a correction. And what I mean by that is usually by next business day, you can't make a correction. But within 5 minutes, you can. Within 10 minutes, you can. Within 30 minutes, likely you can make your correction, okay? It's just like almost guaranteed by next business day, you can't. Don't quote me to that, but let me show you how you can make a last-minute correction. I'm just doing it now. I'm rapido. I'm doing fast. I'm working hard. I'm getting my billing done before billing cutoff, and I accidentally fat-fingered a driver, and I'm paying him too much. How do I make that correction? Well, guess what? Once you bring your order up, just like we did here, we brought the order up, I now have a button called Open Closed Order over here, hiding over here to the right. Say, what? So if I come over here and click on Open Closed Order, and I still can open it, there it goes, the whole order open. Look, everything open. I was still able to open it. That's because no driver was paid on it and no custom, and it wasn't billed out yet entirely, right? So now I want to come over here and I just want to pay my driver 68% of that. 68%. And I do not know 68% right now of $900. Hold on a second. $612. Look at that. Well, Gabe, do I always have to calculate the percentage myself to make sure I'm paying my driver correctly? No, you do not. Another feature is calculate pay percentage. Pay attention, people, because you might not have this feature available. Calculate pay percentage allows you to automatically set a percentage and just by the click of a button, pay that person. Let me give you an example. Give me a second here. I'm just going to take off driver 2, and we're just going to focus on driver 1 right here, okay? Let me give you an example. I come over here and I click on 70. I'm going to show you guys where I set this up. But this pays 70% of the freight and I believe 100% of the fuel. So check this out, right? I got no pay here, nothing, nada. I come over here, I select the 70 and I click pay percentage and does a little flash. But just like that, it puts in their pay. Look at that. The simple click of a button, I have that feature. And if you do not have that feature available and are interested, please contact the training department or more specific, the IT department, tech deck at evansdelivery.com. Where do we do these? Well, under the operations menu, there actually is something called set pay percentage. But here, bear with me here. I want to show you on the billing screen what we saw. You can see the names. Hold on a second. You can see the names, right? Task 70, local, domestic, intermodal. If I come over here and select it, it's right here. Task 70, local, domestic, intermodal. We selected 70, and 70 says, hey, pay 72% of the 70% of the freight and 100% of the fuel. So literally, I can set the pay percentage for these specific line items. Hold on, I can't seem to get this off the screen. These specific line items: the line haul / freight, the fuel, the detention unloading, detention loading, and stop off charges. Basically, the static line items on your billing screen right here to the left. All these bad boys right here. You know, I'm trying to highlight them. But just like that, click of a button. We can see over here, locals, 72% and 0% of the fuel, right? So, hey, the local's going to quit on me. But I come over here, I select local and just click the button and it pays. You can set this up per driver. We usually don't do that. Most people pay a good majority of their drivers the same, but the same ability still exists. It's still out there, and it is possible. Just FYI. Interesting. Did I select books? Okay. Any questions on calculate pay percentage? Or on opening a closed order? All right, guys, that's a pretty billing basic there, and we're not done yet. I just wanted to show you that. I wrote down what else I'd like to talk about is how to pay another agent. Let's say you hauled a load for another agent, or they hauled a load for you. How does Evans handle that? Well, let me bring up my handy-dandy Intercompany Move that you can locate on the Evans agent portal. Under the main screen, you'd want to go to resources. Give me a second. I'm going to scroll down, make sure I see it. I'm always in the wrong place. Yeah, it's not resources. It's documents and then general. And right here, if I scroll in the eyes, I want to see Intercompany Moves. These instructions on what you would use if you were working with another sister company. Now, please join our webinars when we go over this detail by detail. But let me just give you an example. the instructions are pretty black and white. A West agent used an Evans agent as a carrier. Pretty much you're brokering, right? So the Evans agent bills West Motor and enters in the Evans agent bills West Motor because they're hauling for West, and then they pay their truck. Now the Evans agent bills their customer and they pay Evans. The West agent bills their customer and they pay Evans via this V code. Now, I just wanted to, I'm not going to go over this in its entirety. I just want to bring up that there are instructions available out there for you, how it is handled. It's pretty straightforward. Another one I just did the other day recently, and I'm scrolling down to it. What if a West agent hauls for West? Well, pretty much the agent that is billing the customer will bill the customer and pay Evans at this V code. And the other agent with the truck will bill West and pay their truck. And we're corporate, so we're going to know that you guys did it for each other. Okay? We're going to know that because you're sending it to corporate, and in your reference number, it's going to be the same reference number for each load. It's pretty straightforward. If you have any questions, please let me know. I just wanted to bring that part up before I talk about a report or two. I'm going to take a water break and come back to my my handy dandy PowerPoint. I'm not going quiet, people. I'm just taking a water break. Next thing we kind of want to talk about, I know it's like billing. Well, why are we talking about reports? But let's just cover over. It's just some simple reports that can help your billing. That's why it falls in billing basics. Well, what about reports? How do I know if my order is billed or it's not billed? Is my driver paid or should they have been paid? Now, there's more than one way to handle that. But for today's example, let's bring these up. Let's go. All right, so I'm going to go to my screen here. And I have to go back to the main screen, back to documents, back to the main menu, and go ahead, click on reports. And under reports, you got a whole bunch. And please join our reports webinar later this month, I believe. Please join our reports webinar. But if not, just contact training department. We'll go over them. But scrolling in, there's a whole bunch of reports. And I'm just going to start with a few. The orders not billed report. That means we didn't bill these loads out. Now, guys, if I click on this, this is a test account. So it's like every single order in the world is not billed, right? I can't express that enough. But let me just show you how it looks, right? I come in here, I go, hey, we're in April, and these had an appointment date of February 8th. Why aren't these billed? I need to go bill these loads out, bring them up by this pro number, and bill them out. Let me zoom in for our stake here. You see the advantage of this? This tells me I didn't bill these orders out. I need to. Now, there may be cases where you didn't on purpose because you're waiting for approval of a detention or whatever it may be, but orders not billed report helps. Well, I got something better than this for you guys. Okay, I'm just going to close this, get out of there. I got bill pay doc status report. If you go ahead, click on this report, and you run it at least twice a week because it only goes 7 days back, but run it at least twice a week. So I come in here, and you can search by the date it was entered into the computer, or you can search by the actual date, okay? I'm going to say the date it was entered into the computer. And I'm going to say, okay, it was entered within the last 7 days. I go ahead, click on Retrieve Report, and it's going to let me know, was it billed, yes or no, or was the driver paid, yes or no. But check this out. I come in here, and it's letting me know, is this load, is it billed, yes or no? If it was billed, what date? Is the driver paid, yes or no? The driver was paid, what date? And is there any billing paperwork, yes or no? And if that's it. Nothing's in here is going to be billed. It shouldn't be billed. If it is, we got to stop it. Well, is this the load I just did? This is one of them I just did. I think so. This is this is the exact example that I just did. And I know why it's on this report because we actually did just bill it. So isn't that interesting? But it's good to know that it is there. Remind me that I need to save it as an open closed order. But that's good to know that it actually worked. We did just bill it out. And yes, there is a billing document in there because you saw me. What I didn't do is save it as an open order. I should probably do that right now. Okay. I'm glad I was able to show you that just real quick. I just wanted to, I don't know if I'm going to have any more hiccups from the, hold on a second, from the reports area. I know I clicked on agent commission report, and that allows you to search for commission on a particular order. Run this report for the specific billing cycle or pay cycle, as well as on a specific order. In this case, you can get an order number associated with that, and then you can also have the gross revenue and the total commissions come out, so it can display your actual commission per order. Now, this isn't a reports webinar. We're usually a lot more well prepared for those, but I just wanted to show you that example. If you're wondering what your potential commission for a particular load is, you can actually do it immediately following billing a load out, okay? And the same thing will apply for your preliminary driver settlements report. Please go in there and run your report to make sure you're paying your drivers for the loads that they did. I'll use a default date range. Today is Wednesday, but let's say it was last week's billing cycle. I would go from last Tuesday to the current date, and I'm going to say to Monday, and click on search. And what that will do is provide you a list of the loads you're paying your drivers for. And what a lot of agents tend to do is come in here and let's say, okay, this is Fred Flintstone. Fred Flintstone did one load for me, and his potential gross would be 327, not net pay, just gross. But let's use this guy here, George Jetson. George did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 loads for me. I need to make sure I'm paying George for all the loads that he did. And Fred Flintstone, he did 3 loads. I'm only paying him for 1. Okay, so I need to make sure that I pay the driver for the other 2 loads that they did this week. And that's the advantage of the driver preliminary reports. All right, I'm going to go ahead and minimize that, and I'm actually going to jump into my PowerPoint presentation because we are on that time. Oh, bear with me here. And we just wanted to talk about help you guys with some billing basics to avoid the doghouse. You want to talk about we want to just discuss loads with missing paperwork. Can I see my mouse? There we go. I want to highlight this. I wish I can really zoom in here. Ooh, I got a little zoom in. Loads with missing paperwork. Guys, we can bill a load out all day, every day. But if there's no billing paperwork in there, then we're not successfully going to bill the customer, and the driver might not get paid, and the agent might not get paid. I believe that. So you want to make sure you bill loads with the billing paperwork in there, 100%, right? Also, get us those in and out tickets, lumper receipts, etc. This was a collections department request to say, hey, we need those in and out tickets, per diem too, right? Interchange tickets, okay? And don't forget the matching rate confirmations and rate changes. If you agreed, if your first rate confirmation was $900 to haul the freight, but then there was an accessorial, then get that new rate confirmation updated and into the system. The customer will do all they can to help avoid paying their bill. And that's not true at all, but you know what I mean. Make sure it matches. Make sure you have accessorials approved up front. Before you bill it, make sure you have accessorials approved up front. And if it's in an email, then make sure upload that email into the order. Per diem and chassis approvals, get it. Okay? Don't forget the paperwork. And one thing is clarity. Make sure the paperwork is legible. These tends to be some of the top reasons that customers might not pay the bill, and it just might become a billing discrepancy. In that case, make sure that paperwork is legible, and all these other examples. This video will be available on our YouTube page soon without any reminders. Other than that, people, thank you for joining. Any questions so far? Turned on my camera there. No, we ran through it, some billing basics, a few scenarios there. Did I miss anything? Anybody like me to cover a scenario, something you're used to, something you have in mind? More than happy to help. Stay well, everyone. Thank you. Have a good day.